Everybody, welcome to Casters and Blasters. We are a group of friends who get together and play D&D every Wednesday. This episode in particular is going to be a bit jumpy. There were some technical difficulties that we ran into, specifically with my connection, that caused a lot of DM absence throughout this episode. We got some good character moments in the in-betweens, but you'll just notice some technical difficulties. So bear with us. We should be back to normal by next week. Thank you. Dark Tides, the first season of our 10 to 12 roughly episode kind of short campaigns that we're going to be running on this channel. Like I said, we are on episode 3, so I've been doing the recap for the last couple episodes, but one of my favorite things to do, especially in my home game, is to call on one of my players to do it. I see them all looking at me right now, so let's go with Ethan. Why don't you go ahead and catch us up on what happened last week for anybody who may have missed the pre-stream or is watching this back later?
Yeah, absolutely. So in our last session, we were finishing up our fishing adventures to capture a dragon eel who was giving us a bit of a fight back. We were in a bit of a tough competition with another vessel who happened to be boarded by one of Geratos's students. But we made light work of them, no reaction. And we were able to tie them up, some literally, some metaphorically. And then we made our way back to shore, happened to get a couple lucky rolls in, loaded some extra fish in our boat. And it was very clear by the time we got back, no one else had caught a dragon eel, and we grabbed so many fish. We were the de facto winners of the fishing competition. We were all proud, our hearts warm. We were about to get our bellies full, going and enjoying the night's feasting activities. But there was some suspicion aboard. Nokka, my character, had noticed that his elderly grandmother and brother were not yet back from town, or at least it didn't appear so. Made our way into the home to try to ascertain what was going on, only to find Tenna, Nokka's younger brother, with a pair of off-brand Beats on. Couldn't hear anything that was happening in the house. When we went to check for Nokka's grandmother, she was nowhere to be found. At this point, the party kind of split up. Zellar had a bit of a performance to attend, and he was doing his duties to make sure he could perform properly for the evening. And Nokka went on to investigate for his grandmother, which involved the shakedown of a squirrel, and some other misadventures. Luciva at that point in the night then noticed that his coin purse had been stolen and went on a bit of a misadventure with Zellar to try to find out what had happened with that. An almost translucent, invisible sort of cat-like figure had made off with it. And they ended up wandering in the same direction Nokka had to try to find his grandmother. And what seems to be some possibly Fae shenanigans that potentially Nokka's grandmother had been the source of, although we're not quite sure. As the evening drew longer and the sun began to set, though, it became quite clear that Nokka's grandmother was not going to be found. Zellar, who was previously under a bit of a spell, snapped out of it, and we made our way back to town where we were waiting on Geratos, who had met with some strangers who had washed ashore, saying that they were led astray on their trip by potentially some harpies or sirens or something of that nature. And our sort of informal agreement was that we were going to help them out, and Nokka's brother Tenna would continue his search for their grandmother with one day's wait to see perhaps whether or not she would return. And that's the recap, to the best of my knowledge.
Very well done, Ethan. Just one thing to add, minor detail. The woman who washed ashore, her name is Eleanor. She is sending you looking for her pet bird. That being the only creature that she's particularly concerned about that seems like it didn't make its way back from the Harpy Island. Let's see.
Hey Zane, can we get a bit of a mic check, perhaps moving it closer to you?
How's this? Is that better? I just realized I had my gain down.
That is significantly better.
Okay. Eleanor, the woman who washed ashore, is concerned now about her macaw, Marcy, her most trusted friend. Also, of course, the rest of the town is like, dude, there's these harpies that are probably like less than an hour offshore. Somebody's really got to take care of that. So our heroes who need a little bit of extra gold stepped up. It is the evening just before your departure. Nokka, you are just wrapping up a conversation with your brother. Of course, Tenna did explicitly say that they would wait, but that they were not going to give up. And just as he's getting ready to go, you actually see it's poking out a bit from underneath his shirt. You see like a necklace, like a little rope necklace. And as he pulls it out, you recognize it. It's a necklace that your grandmother has worn for a very long time, since as long as you've lived here in Codsbreath. You never thought much of it. It never particularly did anything special. She just wore it all the time. But Tenna has it on. He actually, as he turns to go, reaches under his shirt, pulls it off. It's a little bone charm. It looks like two ribs, like small ribs, that cross over each other and then fold back again. He just kind of holds it for a second and he goes, Shenar gave me this on our way back into town when I asked her about it. You know, she says she always wears it because he's good gift, thoughtful. She thought good luck, so...
He gave this to you, no? Perhaps you should keep it.
Give it back to me when you get back.
Nodding in grave understanding, Nokka grabs it, takes it from him, runs his fingers over it, you know, kind of like cherishing the memories that he knows that it holds, understanding the significance of the gesture. And then he ties it around his neck and gives his brother a big hug.
Gives you a big hug. Okay. I go home now and wait, I guess.
Thank you for doing this.
Just, don't be stupid.
You don't be stupid. Then he
I
kind of
have
like gives him
never
a bit of a knuckle sandwich.
Never been stupid in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look. You just get home safe.
Yes.
And the rest of you,
Huh?
good luck. Thank you for doing what you are doing.
Of
Do not
course.
thank us until the task is done, my friend.
You can thank us now.
You can thank me right now. I do appreciate
Yes,
it.
thanks would be very much appreciated right now.
Okay, I go home. And he turns around and he walks back down the street.
Valid. Yeah.
Very, very valid.
Down towards the residential center of town. Does anybody have anything that they want to do before they go ahead and take a night's rest?
Yes.
And what is that?
I'm gonna get out my painting supplies because Generatos has got some inspiration.
Mmm.
Yeah.
It's been
I
very
forgot what I roll for.
style.
I forgot what I roll for this.
For painting, I believe I had you roll performance,
Yes, I believe that was
if
correct.
I'm not mistaken. And you said you have an inspiration from Zellard. Did that happen last session?
I technically still know that Bardic
It
probably
would have
wore
only
off.
been an hour.
It
Yeah.
would have only been an hour. Yeah, that wore
Yeah.
off. Never mind. I'll just do a flat roll. All
Okay.
right. Here we go.
What's your modifier for this? Just out of curiosity.
0.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. I rolled a 16.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's well above average, to be honest with you. I believe that it's much better than your first painting,
Oh,
if I
way
recall
better.
correctly. Yeah, this.
At least twice as good.
What's the painting of?
Perfect. So, You all see just Geratos very, very solemnly go out and set up his easel, sort of in a more secluded place than last time, almost as if he's trying to become a little more privacy. And this time he doesn't look up from the easel. He's not. You just see him very, very intensely focusing, very, very delicately, much more than last time. You can see he's really, really putting effort in to each brush stroke, each one being very intentional. And he just paints for a very long time. I mean, this is going to be over the course of a few hours, even, as he's just painting this. So you won't even see the completed thing until the morning.
What is he painting? Oh, sorry. What is he painting?
What you see beginning to form is right now, it is a very rough outline of an elf woman.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Geratos gets to painting. Does anybody else want to take any pre-rest actions?
I feel like the night's festivities might have wound down due to people
The night's
washing up on the
festivities
shore.
have certainly wound down, but Diabolus has actually expressed that the brunch party for tomorrow is still very much on.
Let's go.
Well, in that case, I don't know if there's anything I can do to prepare that would make a success for tomorrow's performance be more likely.
If you want to spend... Go ahead and roll a performance check for me now while you're practicing the night before. If it's good enough, it might give you advantage on tomorrow's check.
That sounds great. Let me try it. That is a 19.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say that does it. I was looking for 15 or higher, so sure. You feel pretty confident with the material that you're working with right now.
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
While Nokka is preparing to go to bed, he's kind of very curious about this necklace that his grandmother always wore. Would you say that like him doing an Arcana maybe or a religion check would have him have better odds of maybe recalling something about this or finding some new information out about it?
Is it the same modifier for both?
It is the same modifier for both.
Okay, yeah, just go ahead and roll technically both of those and just give me one roll.
Yep. That's going to be a 16.
16. Okay. As you brush your thumb over it and you look at it fondly, remembering everything, thinking of Shannara and really hoping that wherever she is, she's alive and okay, you recognize what you thought were just patterns of weathering due to age are actually very intentional, small shavings carved along the side of this. They are in different sizes and different angles, almost like lettering of some kind, but it's not any language you know, and it's such a small, like, surface area that you don't even know if it doesn't even look like it could even really be like a full sentence. But it does seem like this thing has an element of intentionality to its craft, an element of reverence to it. You're not sure if it's... It might be a religious heirloom. It might be a magical heirloom. It might just be something that was... It might not have any inherent magic value, and it might have just been like part of an important set or something intentional in the past. But even with the 16, at an immediate glance, it's not like... It's not immediately affiliating with anything that you know.
Okay.
Okay. As the gang goes to bed, you all level up. Ah, the coveted words, the coveted words. Okay.
We did it, Reddit.
We did it.
Beautiful. So, okay. Everybody, we're going to just make these real quick edits on D&D Beyond. You should have an option to turn on manual health. If you have not already done that, the easiest thing to do is before you level up, just roll the hit die and then do the manual override. So everybody should be level 3 going to level 4 right now. And your hit dice should be listed on your character sheet.
You want me to go ahead and roll it then?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Let me know what you get.
3! Nice.
Is
Big
there
three.
a level up button that I'm missing somewhere, or do I just manage that on the character sheet?
And you add your constitution modifier as well, don't forget. Alex, where did you go to turn off?
If you click manage and then character settings, you can switch it to manual.
Hit point type you'll see is where you'll have the setting.
Yeah. I think because the character started in a different format, it may not translate over cleanly.
It's 1d8. Okay, I'm 1d8.
Yes. So before you hit level 4, if you haven't turned off manual, it's just the easiest way to do it. Go ahead and roll that d8. Hit it so the stream can see it, and then
That's a 1.
you can reroll once.
Okay, I will do
Yeah,
that.
we reroll
I will
once.
indeed do that.
I'm gonna keep my 6.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a 3. All right.
All right.
I'll take it. I'll
Mhm.
take it.
Welcome to the club.
But I'm a
And you add
frontline
your
character.
constitution modifier, don't forget.
If only I had one.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh no.
and Ethan, how are we looking?
I am not. It's not seeing the option of letting me roll the dice. I'm pretty sure that it's also a D8 for me though. So let me just roll that.
Clerics are a D. Yep.
Manage
Cool.
character and levels. I'm now level 4.
Oh, that's 8.
8!
Let's go.
Nokka,
Dude.
tank,
So-
cleric.
I'm
Thankful.
going to be moving up to 29 max HP.
And do you have a constitution
Nice.
modifier?
It auto adds it on D&D.
It
Beyond.
auto
You need
adds
to put
it,
in the
yeah.
roll, the
Okay.
roll number.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So everybody should have their hit points where they need to be. Go ahead and pick your ASI or your feat. Just tell me which one you do.
More Risma.
Oh god. Oh, I did not look through the feats. I'm just gonna
I-
pick more.
I am doing the actor feat.
Nice.
Beautiful. I know that gives you a +1 bump to your charisma, and also
It gives me advantage on deception and performance checks when I'm trying to pass as a different person. It
Mhm,
also means that when I'm doing that, I can mimic the speech of another person or sounds
Yes.
of creatures.
yes.
Love it.
Okay. Sick. Very cool. And very interesting considering the setting.
And I don't plan to use it immediately for any shenanigans.
Whatsoever.
Ever.
It's almost like you're going to fight some harpies. Paige, what are we doing?
All into charisma.
Oh, you said increasing your Rizzy. Yep.
Yeah. My brain's kind of fried right now, so I'm acting a bit goofier than normal.
This is a goofy space, my friend. Gary, what are you doing?
I think just for speed, for this time, I'll just pick an ability score improvement.
Okay.
And I'm gonna up my wisdom.
Okay. Get more focus points.
That's gonna bring me up to
And-
18.
And you also use your wisdom for your attacks when you're in astral self form. I forgot about that. Nice.
And it also affects my
Nice.
It also affects my armor class as a monk.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh yes, it's almost as if I played monk before. which I've not. I built this character and never got to play him.
Ethan, what are we going?
I did myself the disservice of not looking through feats, so I'm gonna take an ability score improvement.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to choose.
Honestly, at level
Uh,
4, it's not a bad idea to take an ASI because feats will. You kind of need the backing of ability scores usually to bring feats online, unless it's a half feat like actor.
I'm taking strength and intelligence, so I can try to
Okay.
nullify some of my zeros I've got.
Where? Okay, I need to do. Here it is, astral trance, and then I need to choose a new skill proficiency.
Ah. What will
So-
he become proficient with?
Kind of leaning toward like. I'm trying to think. We're going to fight some sirens or some harpies,
I mean, that's probably going to be a lot of saves on their stuff.
which I already have advantage on saving throws against being charmed. So I
Oh,
feel
that's
like
good.
I'll be okay in that regard.
Maybe like a
Maybe-
perception if you don't already have it.
Which I think I do. I have proficiency in that. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe medicine or nature, maybe. I don't know. No, I have a -1 to my intelligence. I should not do that. That'd be a funny thing to do. That'd be a real funny thing to do.
D&D Beyond says that I never chose my ability score increases from my origin, so I guess I just have some ability scores that I can raise.
Hey, you
Wow.
should really do that.
Wow.
Nokka will probably feel a bit stronger here.
This is-
Probably
Nokka
be a
literally
little bit
awakened who he
stronger.
was. Just
I would love
the
to
next
know.
bear
Ethan,
I
you
wonder if I
see
did
is
that.
dead.
just
on
let me know what
site.
let me know what you're picking as far as like what you've missed and what
Gotcha.
Nokka's about to get.
Okay.
Just talk me through it as you're going.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a +2 and a +1 instead of a +1, 1, and 1. And I'm gonna
Oh
take,
yeah, from your species.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take a +2 bump, a +2 bump to wisdom, and a +1 bump to constitution.
Cool. Cool.
Try to
So
make myself a
since
little
you
bit
just
beefier.
did that, make sure it adds that 1 hit point to the hit points you just rolled.
Word.
Okay.
Wait,
Sup, Pimp?
wait. Sorry, after Ethan said that, I went back to my character page and I was
You
like,
haven't done it either?
why do I still have 2 points left to allocate to my stats?
So we are
Gosh.
3 episodes in. We've
I
been through
know.
several combats, but I am glad you guys are finding this now.
That's to be the
What
biggest
about-
level up you could have it for.
Yeah, for real.
Or you know.
Incredible.
Good, I can add more harpies. Good. There's hey guys, there's 100 harpies.
Oh, we
100
got this.
million
We got this.
billion harpies.
And also the dragon that they worship, the ancient red dragon. The great
Nice.
worm.
Dragon.
The red great
Did
worm.
anyone else
Oh, okay. All right. Great one.
feel
All right.
bad about the dragon eel saying, "Can you get me home?" That's in my notes, and I still
Did
feel
anybody feel
guilty
bad about
it.
that? Who would feel bad about that?
I'm just
I wouldn't feel
okay.
bad about that.
Really
I
bad
just-
about
okay.
that.
Was there a subplot we probably missed? No. Did he have a family? Maybe. Are they getting hunted
Definitely.
to extinction?
If you guys were in a
Probably.
competition, you had to win the competition, am I right?
Listen,
Okay.
gold was on the line. Gold was on the line.
Everybody needed some money.
Yeah. Look at the menagerie we're dealing with.
An
We needed
intelligent
some gold.
creature's life is a small price to pay for 100 gold.
Yeah, honestly.
Insane.
That's
Oh,
my motto.
What's up, Gary?
I'm trying to be fully transparent because
Yeah.
I just allocated my last 2 points. That brought my constitution up enough that I now have a +1 modifier. Can I get 1 more HP since I already rolled for it?
It
Okay,
auto-adds
thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. I can't believe I did that.
Man, you guys are funny.
I can't believe I did this.
Oh, a tad bit goofy, one might say.
Okay, it automatically did that. Okay, it automatically then retroactively applied it.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Love it.
Perfect. Sick. Okay.
Gosh, I'm so much beefier now. I have 34 HP. I'm pretty sure I was at like 20 or something. Before.
Yeah, you were at and
I
Jared,
have
what's your
25
HP?
now.
25.
25.
You went up 7 hit points.
Yeah.
You got an
yeah,
extra like
that's-
4 off that. Oh yeah, because you're level 4. Your +1 con's gonna scale backwards.
That
too.
that helps so much.
Okay.
I kept wondering. I was like, I feel squishy. Why do I feel
And
so
now
much squishier? Yes.
Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm hitting the long rest button as well.
Oh,
Hit
yeah,
the long
long
rest
rest.
button. Click that button.
Cool.
You guys sleep through the night. You awaken the town's inn.
Why did it reset my HP? Hang on.
Oh, bestie.
Did you save your
no.
changes?
I'm
If you didn't, go back and hit it right now. It's okay.
Override
I'm gonna
instead of dice roll.
I'm gonna
Okay.
keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep narrating, King.
So, gang, You all wake up in Codsbreath. The sun rises through the hazy green mist over the water. The moss swings in the ruddy green branches around you. The streets of the town fill once more, albeit a little bit less than yesterday, for the following revelry. The revelry in the morning. For which, of course, Zellar has been hired. Zellar, you wake and stretch to the sound of opening acts on the stage before you. You know that you have a little bit of time to get dressed and ready. You know you got to hit this and nail it. You have like a 45-minute slot. And then you guys are free to do as you please.
Lucifer will walk out of his room.
The air is salty, but you also smell baked goods. Forand has kind of lined the front desk and the couple of tables that are in the dining room with croissants and little sandwiches and kind of some baked treats as well. You don't see Forand anywhere right now, but you do see Ruby, the barkeep for the tavern, passing out drinks and food to the individuals who have gathered around for the morning performance. It's pretty chill. It's kind of like when you throw the radio on Sunday and they're doing like acoustic covers of throwback songs. That's kind of generally the vibe. But everybody seems to be just kind of trying to be not so serious after 4 bodies washed up on shore yesterday. Zellar.
Mm-hmm.
The acts before you play and move along as you get dressed. What is Zellar wearing?
So Zellar is always wearing the same stuff. It reeks like shit, but is ultimately wearing just the most, very good for getting some stench in, like leather attire, pretty much head to toe, the sort of whatever their equivalent of spandex would be. Very unflattering at his current age. But I also believe that in the 10 minutes prior, he would use a disguised self, but purely to use the ability to make himself look a foot taller and nothing else.
Right.
It is his form a foot taller, and he's like, well, they might see through, but that's not my problem. And is ultimately going to more so believe that the music is what matters most in this scenario rather than his appearance.
Zellar, in your formerly shiny leather, you take the stage to gentle applause. Knowing you look a good foot taller and that nobody will probably see through it, the person, of course, that it matters the most to is you. Gives you a little confidence boost. Go ahead and make a performance check. You may make it with advantage because of your diligent practicing.
Let's see. So that's a 21 on the first roll.
Ooh.
That's a good
And
one.
we are taking the first roll.
Okay.
Let's
That
go.
was a
Let's
nat
go.
2 on that one. Jeez.
What is
yeah.
so? What's Zellar playing?
I think Zellar is decent at reading the room at the very least when it comes to a performance, and knows that it is a somber time, knows that it's an uncomfortable time. He would try to do something that mimics the feel of the town, probably something that's like maybe a sort of pub drinking song that's like a little more slow, but everyone can get
shanty-esque.
into it and knows what's going on before he breaks into the stuff that he knows like you can't really sing along with. It's like,
Right.
But once the mood's up, that's when he wants to keep the vibes going that way.
Okay. The rest of you are watching Zellar, who is disorderly and a bit gruff, which is even accentuated by the fact that he tries not to be. and a bit of self-awareness lacking. But you watch him take the stage, and regardless of all those things, you watch him absolutely seize the crowd. He knows exactly what he's doing as far as manipulating the flow of energy through the performance. And you wonder, are all famous musicians this vapid?
Gyarados is just sitting there wondering, like, how did he get in those pants?
If I had a nickel for every time a priceless piece of art has made its way out of this inn in the time I've been here, I'd have 2 nickels.
Is he wearing platform shoes?
I woke up this morning feeling stronger. I think he got taller.
I think
Did killing
at this
dragging
once
you
you're
give us
getting
strength?
towards the end of the performance, the Cinderella moment's going through his head where it's like, I've got an hour and it wears off. And when the clock strikes midnight, I need to get out of here.
At midnight, you just go.
Would you say that there's like
Mario?
Would you say there's some breakfast ale around? Would it be?
Oh, yeah.
There's
There's
a
breakfast.
ale.
Dude, you're in a town of sailors and fishermen. There are people drinking liquor at the bar at 8 o'clock in the morning.
So Nokka's there with his big glass, and he's just sipping on it. And, you know,
Nice.
Gyarados and Lucima are saying these things back and forth, and Nokka's, like, after they're saying they're, like, relatively, you know, like, mildly profound things, Nokka's like, shorts, man. Pretty bad. He's not worldly. He has no exposure to anything else. All he knows is that there's like a couple drinking songs he recognizes from being in the town for a while.
sure.
And he's
You
like,
sing
hey,
along
this is a
and bounce
pretty
to the
good
first couple.
performance.
Yeah, and it is. Arguably it's a great performance. As you step off the stage, there's an agent, not Diabolus himself, but an agent kind of from him. This salty human guy. Everybody in this town is salty. I don't think I'll ever escape that adjective when I describe a new NPC. But he's got a salty, built, gray-haired human man. He's got like a big scar across his chin. He looks like he's in his late 50s. And he goes, "Look, Diabolus was a bit regretful about having to cancel last night's performance, so he wanted me to pass along the message. He said 15 gold. This is 25 for you." He gives you a pouch. Good job. Good job.
Thank you. I really
Don't
appreciate
thank me.
that.
I'm just dropping it
But
off.
if you could thank him on my behalf, then that
Sure.
would be much appreciated. I think we have some work to attend to.
Sure. Oh, you're going to deal with those harpies, are you?
Yeah.
Right, I heard about that yesterday. Nasty business. Wasn't around for it, sadly.
Any experience with harpies?
Well, as the agent for Mr. Greymane, I've been around a lot of rough performances. When you hear something you don't like, just plug your ears.
Understood.
You have a good afternoon, Mr. Zelam. And he pivots on his heel, leaves the bar.
You as well. And I think right as that ends, no,
You lose a foot.
no. That's good. I was going to try to see if I could get more money out of it, but I didn't even have to lie.
The gold is passed along to you. You wrap up your performance. You look around, and now Ruby is gone, but Forand takes the stage. Oh my dear God. What accent did I use for Forand?
I don't think
I have to go back and watch episode 1 real quick.
Oh my god.
I don't think Forehand had an accent.
We're going to give him kind of a
He
generic,
sounded goofy.
look, probably like a generic high British accent.
Sounds right.
I'm Forehand. Sure.
That's it.
I felt
Okay.
right.
There it
I
is.
felt right.
There it is.
Forehand,
There it
Forehand
is.
gets up on stage and he goes, "All right, everybody, let's hear it for Zella and all the other acts that came before, of course."
Oh,
Boo.
Don't do that. All right. Well, everyone, we're going to have the downstairs of the tavern open for, of course, dining and drinking and camaraderie for the afternoon. In celebration of yesterday's events for the festival, we will be closing up at about 5, and reopening at 7 for our normal operations. Please feel free to socialize and enjoy the drinks and the food. Thank you. And Forehand steps off stage.
Very cool. Very quickly, Jeratos is gonna say, "Excuse me, my friends," and he's gonna walk back over to where he left his easel. And what you're gonna see is he's gonna take the painting off. You still don't fully see the painting; it's facing away from you, and he just kind of looks at it for a good while. Just takes a very long look at it, and then he takes out a knife from inside of his pouch and just cuts out the actual canvas from the frame. Rolls it up and puts it in his pouch, and then tosses the frame into the fire.
Nice. Snap it over your knee. Toss it in 2 pieces.
Yeah.
It's a nice frame. It's like
Yeah,
wooden,
very
but
good.
it was like painted gold.
Yeah.
Detailed around the edges.
Yeah.
The fire
that's
flares.
a little bit of, oh,
It smells like paint for a second, and then it goes back to normal.
Yeah, Jeratos just packs up the easel and everything and puts it all away, and then just comes back and is like, "Thank you. I'm ready to depart now."
Forehand will bring you guys a little bag. Actually, it's not Forehand. You don't see Forehand, but you do see the chef.
It's Three-hand.
The chef that he was talking to the first day, when he went back the very first time to get all those croissants. The very first time you met him, he was talking to Saggy, the chef. I don't know if you guys remember that. But kind of a big, chunky elf walks out from the back. Very, very thin, angular facial features and just an absolutely mean gut. He's got like a stained white apron over a white shirt with black pants and a chef's hat. And he goes, I made you some to-go bags. There you go. And he hands you guys each like a rolled paper bag. It's got a sandwich, and it's got like a bottled, some kind of dark purple carbonated drink. You don't know what it is. It's for the road. That's my understanding. You're going out there to kick some harpy ass and save the town. So I just wanted to show my appreciation for that. Jogged in a few gold coins for you as well. Some of the townsfolk got together and threw them all in. You get a nice little pot if you make it back alive. And he elbows you.
Well, we very much appreciate this gift of purple drink and coin. I do
Yeah.
believe that this will help carry us on the long voyage to our most dangerous destination.
It's about an hour. Yep.
Are you much of a fighter, Saggy?
Fighter.
Yeah.
It's the only kind of fighting I was gonna do with fellas. Wait for him to throw the first punch, maybe knock him over and sit on his chest for a while until he can't breathe no more, but I don't throw that many fisticuffs if that's what you're asking. Why?
Can you
I
do
like
that
that
to a
fighting
harpy?
They have wings, probably not.
That's a shame.
Not with that attitude.
They couldn't carry me away, though.
Very true. Very true. I think I spit. I would never do this anywhere else. But just... Right then. Well, appreciate the goodies.
Get home safe, y'all. Turns around, saunters back into the kitchen.
Nokka, are you wearing the necklace that you had?
Nokka is still wearing the necklace from the last night. Yeah, he tied it around his neck and he has not taken it off since.
I would like to kindly walk up to Nokka and be like, know what it says?
This neck. I'm so sorry. Where's my Nokka voice? Hello. This necklace is. I'm not sure if it is writing, if it is symbol. It's not something I am aware of. Perhaps you care to take a look?
If I may.
And then Nokka cautiously unstrings the necklace from his neck and is kind of holding it out to Zellar with his hand on the necklace part and the piece in his palm, kind of like this.
And I would like to ritual cast comprehend languages to see if it will be able to read this, or if this is just symbolism that goes beyond that.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Looks like it takes 10 minutes. So
10
cheeky
minutes?
11.
Okay.
It's an action by default, so.
Sorry, I'm looking forward to my. I have a couple different documents.
I think I'm just like uncomfortably close during this ritual cast. Just like almost like sniffing the letters as if that will help me discern what's going on. Like it's a Scooby-Doo mystery.
Nokka is like squinting at you, not necessarily because he's concerned about what you're doing, but more just like for the necklace itself.
Still fresh.
He like almost pulls his hand away. He's like, stop.
Your hand definitely gets caught in the crossfire of the sniff. If you're holding it.
It's one of those things where like a kid is looking like a little bit too closely at something. Like, if you've ever seen them like breathe on the glass while you're at a store.
As you're tracing the lines and the spell goes off, it's primordial. I assume none of you could speak primordial. I probably should have asked that first.
I actually
Do speak primordial.
Speak primordial as a racial call.
Well,
It's not racial for me. I just chose it as my known language and am
Cool.
blaming it on my giant history.
so Geratos, you're like half. Pardon me. You're half paying attention, half drinking, and you hear Zellar start speaking in primordial, which you understand him say, "The gate key of the deep."
Oh.
So Geratos would simply say like, "Oh, the gate key of the deep. I wonder what that is."
That concerns me even more with the dragon eel saying, "Can you get me home?" If there's a gate key to a place that's not here.
This thing is key, and Nokka's just like holding it up and kind of like looking at it and wondering how it's ever gonna fit in a door.
It's definitely
not
just
quite-
it's definitely just fish bones. Like,
I know that it may be alarming to you to see a key being used as jewelry, but in some cultures, they are known to keep their keys on necklaces around their neck. I know that could be alarming, but my dear Nokka, do not worry.
Shinar has never gone to deep. Shinar has been in Byzantine Sultanate with me. I do not know where she comes across this artifact. This is very concerning. And he ties it around his necklace again. He ties it around his neck again.
Staring at the necklace and Nokka very intently, Lucifer's gonna try and make a history check to see if they can figure out like what this necklace relates to, like in terms of any kind of deity or fae or. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so good! I'm so excited. No, that's 12. Well, that's 11.
12.
11. Yeah.
Fishbone necklace, gate key of the deep. It's certainly nautical in nature.
You know what, Nokka, you're right. I have no idea how that's gonna fit in the door.
Can Geratos just like as like a I forgot that as a noble I have proficiency in history. Can you just like really randomly look at it and maybe see?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's see.
Begrudgingly fishing it back out again.
No, that's a third. That's a 13. Yeah.
There's 13. So the DC for this one was really high. For
Yeah, I
a history
figured
check to like certain checks have certain DCs. History check is on the higher DC end of the spectrum. So I with a 13, nothing.
I'm assuming that this is not something that my researcher feat would be able to get around.
What is your researcher feat?
I'm a sage. That's my background.
Right.
When I attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know that information, you often know where and from whom you can obtain it. Usually this information comes from a library, scriptorium, university, or a sage or other learned person. Your DM might rule that the knowledge you seek is secreted away in almost inaccessible places, or that it simply cannot be found.
Oh boy, I'm so happy you asked. Taking a look at it, thinking about how everybody's trying to recall history or lore of some kind, that this might be an old world item or what, you don't know. You think, Fluso. Fluso might know. Fluso pensiona. The water genasi in town. He's 105 years old. And he's eclectic. You know him. He never leaves his house, but he's also built like add-ons and weird little chutes and corridors that branch off of the main house, where he just keeps books on books on books on books. There's no library. There's just Fluso's house, and he is very eager to share this information with anybody who cares. Nobody in Codsbreath ever cares.
Aww.
Does Nokka have a reputation with Flusol as a person who enjoys information? I'm assuming we've interacted at the very least, so I know who he is.
It's probably likely that you've checked out books on like plant life and migration patterns and things like that from Fluso. So, being one of the only people in town who's not just a fisher, you've interacted before. Yeah, Fluso, like I said, he's quite eager to just like rent out his books.
Fluso will know many great things about this. We take this to Fluso's house. Come.
All right.
Do you expand upon anything about Fluso having a mountain of books, or is it just
No, just that he knows.
nice? Let's do it.
You open the door. No, you don't. You knock on the door. As you approach Fluso's house, driftwood, much like many of the other properties here in town, but sturdily built, strange. The house itself, like from the top down, would almost look like a spider, in that there is what was once Fluso's main house. But over the last roughly 100 years, he has built just chute after chute after chute of what could be guest rooms or a bathroom or a closet, and they've just been filled with books. The shades are all drawn, not surprising, as you approach the front door. And you, stepping under the kind of like crooked porch with the awning covering the door, give it a knock.
It's a crooked porch that's being weighed down by a bookshelf that's like making it sag.
And then Nokka the Goliath steps on it and it goes.
Wait, wouldn't it even out? It goes.
Oh, he steps on the other side.
level.
Yeah, it straightens out. And then Zellar knocks on the door because he doesn't weigh anything. As you knock, a couple pieces of green, like moss fall from it. There's a pause, and then you hear like a shuffling up behind the door. The sliding of a lock, and the door swings open. You see an old man. Like I said, he's over a century old. His skin is a pale blue. Almost like you feel like if you shined a flashlight on it, you could see underneath it. It's like a watery texture. He's shiny. His hair itself is made of a flowing stream of water. It's long and wispy at this point. You can see the individual strands of hair. The hairline is receding as well. It's very far back. He's bent over a walker, but he's got like a tight robe pulled around his body. It's nice. It's like a wine red with gold stitching. Old. Clearly, he brought it from out of town. Kind of scoots back, and he goes, looking at you, Zelar, immediately. He goes, "Oh, hello, little one."
Hello, wet one. I am Zelar. We are in a venturing party.
Oh,
Right.
Nokka!
Nokka, yes, Nokka.
Yeah, okay. Zelar, you say, yes?
Yes.
Nokka, I know. Zelar, your friends?
Elar
He-
is Nokka friend, and have also Nusiva, and have also Jaratos. These are Nokka new friend. Nokka make these friends only a couple days ago, but they are delightful people. And we come and we inquire for knowledge.
Oh, you Nokka always wanted to read something, I swear. It's good, the curiosity, you know. Come in. And he shuffles around, walks through the living room with his walker. It is furniture, kind of like in an old house, like you'd expect. There's a couple chairs and a couch. There's a kitchen with a little bar and cabinets, but in almost every spare area of floor space, it's just towering stacks of books from the ground. There's shelves, and then they're just stacked up from the ground. There's candles on certain stacks where the wax is just like melted over the top, making certain books almost inaccessible at this point. He doesn't seem to be too concerned, but you can see that as he walks in the very, very back, you can see like through the kitchen to like a little back nook, through a closed door with like a grate in the top half. You can see a couple bookshelves of pristinely kept, very old looking books. He goes, sit down, get comfortable. Do you drink coffee?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
I could go for a brew myself.
Okay. I'd be right back. And he heads into the kitchen. It takes a little bit of time, but he makes everybody a cup of coffee, brings them out one by one.
This is happening. Nokka is doing the thing that he always does because his name's Floris, right?
Fluso.
Flusel.
Flusel.
Flusel always gets distracted with something and wants to do the whole hospitality thing, and Nokka uses this as an opportunity to snoop through the stacks of books and find something that he has not found before. So
Okay.
he's just poking and prodding through corners, like much like a way that like a curious grandchild would do at their grandparents' house,
Yeah.
and then immediately go back to standing at attention and looking happy when they come back into the room. But like
Perfect.
opening drawers and stuff like that.
What exactly are you looking for?
It's hard to say. It's really more of a curiosity thing than anything
Okay.
else. I'm not looking for specific things, just like book titles that look interesting or like actual trinkets and bits and bobs.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Investigation. Hit him. That's going to be a 14.
14. You find, going through his drawers and things, you find tons of like bits and baubles, plenty of worthless things that he's kept around for no reason. But you do see a lot of things from not Codsbreath. He's lived here for damn near a century, but you see pictures, sketches, and some kind of magic photography of a young Fluso with his family on a sprawling countryside with stone castles in the background. You find fancy little things like what was it called? Like a lace coasters and things from Iane.
Like a little dolly.
The crystal isles on the other side of the world.
Does he have those like little strawberry candies in like a bowl?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Cool.
And as he opens the fridge, you see that he's got just like the fridge. What's a fridge? It's a box
Ice
with a
box.
connection to the elemental plane of ice, is what it is. It's
An ice
enchanted
box, if you
that he
will.
brought from home. You see, he's just got like cases and cases and cases of things. He pulls out some cream, some shaken cream. As you continue to go through packages of things he's never opened, he's just an old man. But as you are snooping through, Nokka, you come across a small painting of Fluso and Shinar. Younger.
What?
It's Codsbreath for sure. Early. You can tell buildings are still under construction in the background, but they've posed up on the streets. This was prior to your excursion here. When you came to Azanthium, when you came to Codsbreath, you came because she was already here. She had established a place for herself, but in the interim, it seems that, well, she wasn't doing nothing.
So this was not her, like, when she was younger, when still with the tribe. This is after she left the tribe, but before
after she
I
left.
was kicked out?
Yes, so she was probably in her late 40s or early 50s when this was done, as was Fluso. Well, Fluso's a bit older, actually, but Water Genasi age different.
Yeah, they get
Okay.
drier.
They're
This
holding
will be
hands.
one of the things that I ask him about when we ask about the key to the deep, or whatever it was called.
Absolutely. Aside from that, I mean, there are. You pour over a bunch of different book titles because there are about 100 in every direction. It just depends on what Nokka's interested in.
Is there a book about small magical items or trinkets? Because Luciva expressed interest in that to Nokka while the coffee was being prepared.
All the coffee was being prepared. Yeah.
Yes, there is. Taking a quick glance at you look over like 3 stacks real quick, and your eyes latch on to like a beige-colored, fairly thick tome with black stitching along the spine that says, "A guide to trinkets almost mundane."
I love it. Nokka picks it up, thumbs through it. He's looking at pictures of these devices and objects and has no idea really what they do or anything like that.
It's a guide for those who are magically capable but are not like practiced wizards. Maybe an individual who's spent a decade or so in magic and sorcery 20 years ago, and now they're old and they just want an amulet of light to help them find their way through their house at night, or perhaps a tap in the sink that never runs out. You want to link it to the elemental plane of water. There are steps to begin that process and things like that.
We're going to industrialize Codsbreath. We're pivoting back to that. We're going to start doing that.
Jaratus is going to write a letter to his father asking for an investment for a capital fund. You know, we're going to start getting this going.
The Bowstrikes have money.
The Bowstrikes do have a lot of money.
No, but Nokka definitely does pass this book off to Luciva, and he's like, "This is a book of many very magical, interesting things I've found," and puts it in his hand.
Excellent. Thank you, my good friend.
At which point, Fluso comes back from the kitchen with a couple cups of coffee in hand, sets them down on the coffee table in the center of the room, brings back 2 more, so he's set out 4, and he just kind of sits down in the armchair and pulls a blanket over himself, and he goes, "Feel free to peruse. Is there anything you are looking for in particular?"
Fluso, we have 2 questions for you. Number 1, not a question. I borrow your book, I give it to Luciva.
Sure. How long? Is it 5 silver pieces for a week? Or if you just want to buy the book, you just want a gold piece and I'll just give it to you.
Luciva happily hands over a gold piece.
Thank you very much. You can read.
I can.
I love to see it.
I must say, it's my first time here, and it's a crime that there's so many books here, yet so few readers.
I could not agree more. These fishers, they go to the shore, they spend all day on the water fighting the beast. But what do they learn?
Nothing. They train the bodies, but not their minds. Sad.
Train the bodies, but not the minds.
Number 2 question is picture of you with Shinar?
Oh. And he like very gingerly takes it from you and just looks at it. Ah, Shanad. Life is hard, you know. Life it changes a lot. But, I mean, how could I not? Yes, Shinar and I were inseparable for some years. This was before you came to town. I am a grown enough man to understand when a woman has priorities outside of a man. But a lovely woman.
Okay. This is okay thing. Very nice.
I did not know you did not know. Yes, don't worry. We were good. Things ended well. She was busy and I was just a reader. But yes, I'm glad you know now. There's nothing to hide.
I understand some people like trees, other people like tree when turned into book.
Yes, I would say that is true.
I know I say I have 2 questions. I actually have 3 questions.
Oh, good. More. You don't understand, Nokka. Nobody wants to talk to old Fluso.
With the new question, Flus, or new knowledge granted by previous question, perhaps this is something that you know of, or perhaps even give to Shinar. It was given to Tenna recently, and then Tenna gave it to me. We need to have understanding of this thing. Zalar, he cast the magic and discovered that this thing is perhaps named Key to the Deep, but we do not know what that entails. Perhaps you look at it?
As soon as you say Key of the Deep and begin to pull the necklace, he just like, as you present it, he holds it very gingerly. He goes, Key of the Deep, not to the Deep. But yes, I give this to Shinar. Yes, long time ago. She did not want any more? Why do you have?
I have very sad news, which is that Shinar disappeared last night. We do not know where she is. I tried to track her trail. She disappeared into the woods. I interrogate woodland creatures, and woodland creatures say that perhaps she's overcome with some kind of fey spell.
Oh my.
This was last thing that was given to Tenna by Shinar before she would disappear.
Well, you know, there are many fae in the woods here. But maybe I tell you everything I know about this, if it helps.
It will. It will help.
Oh, dear Shinar. Okay. So it says Key of the Deep. Although I do not know what that means. In the time that I had it, I never was able to find out. I did as much reading on it as I could. Fluso leans forward in his armchair with his blanket around his legs, and he goes, "You know, Fluso didn't always used to be old. It was 20 years ago or so when Mr. Greymane started his games. You know who the first ever winner of the Greymane Dragon Eel hunt was?
Was it you, Fluso?
It was Fluso! Ah! It was a long day, and you see in his eyes he gets 20 years younger. He goes, "It was a long day out in the sun. I was losing mass by the second, but I was an immigrant. I mean, I was a fisherman, but even then, this was the first shot at real guaranteed money for a good catch. So, Fluso doubled down. Fluso, I took my boat far off shore with my boys. And it was maybe 3 hours in. Longer days back then. 3 hours in, we saw the first one. These beasts Mr. Greymane had only prophesied about. So I see it. And my boys, we see it. And we throw our hats in the air, we get excited, and oars to the water, we chase. And it was not one. It was two. A pair. The first one did not make it away from Fluso and his crew. We speared it, strapped it to the side of the boat, and began our chase. I would be known. I was ready to make sure of it, but something stayed my hand. We did not loose the spears. We followed the beast as it ran. Followed it for long enough that I was worried by the time the sun was just beginning to touch the tops of the trees, we would not make it back to the shore by the end of the competition. And then I saw it, jutting up from the sea spray, outside the bounds of the intercoastal and away from the mangrove swamps, jutting up into the water. A great stone spire, weathered by the years. The bricks themselves, they were falling out of place, and the water chopped fervently around the banks of this stone enclosure, but the dragon eel pressed on, and so did Fluso. And we saw the dragon eel spines above the water. And when we saw another, I considered slowing. And then by the third, fourth, fifth, sixth pair of fins, our boat had come to a stop. What I am about to tell you, you must promise. You cannot tell anyone. I have kept this secret for 20 years.
You have my word.
Nokka just nods with grave intent, full meaning behind his.
I swear on the Bowstrike name, your secret will be guarded.
You have my word.
I was gonna say, convenient Lucy was
Thank
not
you.
here to promise.
I was gonna
anything.
say the one who I'm actually worried about. Like, okay. He nods, and Fluso carries on. Ruins of a fortification something once great, certainly. But as we approached, these creatures eyed us. But none struck. We were surrounded. They could have torn us to pieces, but they just watched. I gave my spears to my first mate, Anne, and I stepped to the bow of the ship, and I stared into the eyes of one of these creatures. And the eyes said to me, "Do something to surprise me." So I leapt. My feet hit the water, and by the time my head was under, I had already made peace with the fact that these things may tear me to pieces, but I just knew I would be okay. As I stepped into the water with no weapon, I took a deep breath, and the creatures just circled me. And as I swam, they parted for me. A small community, maybe 30 or 40 dragon eels. And they're the skeletons of other creatures. Not human, or elven, or orcish, or any land-dwelling creature, fish-like almost, but arms, legs, neck, head. And there in the ruins, he holds up the necklace. I found this. They let me take it. I spent not long enough in the water with them. And then I climbed aboard my ship, brought the dragon ear carcass back to shore, collected my winnings, and I never fished again. This thing, this amulet, beautiful. After that, I could not continue in a good conscience. I knew if I saw another one, they would expect me to kill it, and I just don't think I could do that. Whatever this is, it belonged to whoever occupied the place where the dragon eels come from. And whoever they were, something terrible happened to them.
My dear Fluso, I must ask, I must inquire. I noticed in your sentence you stated that Diabolus himself somehow prophesied the arrival of the dragon eels. Are you suggesting that dragon eels were not always native to these waters?
I suppose that is my dramatic captain's speech getting away from me. What I mean is, he warned us of their presence,
prior to the first games, there were sailors who went missing, washed ashore, or were never found again, and scorch marks and bite marks ended up allowing us to trace these things back to the dragon eels, but I'm sure they were acting in self-defense. They don't appear to be naturally predatory towards humanoids.
You mentioned bones of another aquatic creature in the domain. Was it
Yes,
something recognizable? Something larger than they were?
humanoid. My height, but not a genasi, not a human, not an elf. The bones were thick and heavy. The build was wide and a little squat. The things I found around them, the armor, the weapons, badly aged, not particularly worth anything, but... And I did not bring any back, lest anybody question it. But some kind of aquatic race, but with legs, not merfolk. I ruled that out immediately. I thought it may be, but it's not them. And I have heard of these creatures as well called the Kuatoa that live in the deep. These fish people, I know nothing of them, but this is too close to shore.
Do you believe it could be some form of ocean dwarf?
I do not naturally know of any species of oceanic dwarven individuals, but maybe it's whoever it was. It seemed as though they were all wiped out at once or in a short period of time. There were skeletons scattering the ground. An attack or an accident of some kind.
So you've told us a beautiful story. You've given us many interesting things to think about. Thank you for sharing. This information will be useful to help find Shinar and to help pursue our ends, hopefully. We'll get back with you for more when we know more, and perhaps you can help us fit together the pieces.
Please, I worry for her. I'm sure the worry I feel is nothing compared to the worry of her grandson, but please, let me know.
If I may ask one last question, what do you know of Fae presence in this area?
I know that for longer than I have been here, there has been an unnatural amount of encounters and problems in the wild with beasts that should be from the Fae, and also should not still be here. I do not know much, but I know that if I were far from home, I would try to find a way back instead of just getting comfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Quite like the dragon eels.
Yes, exactly. To my knowledge, they are not traditionally Fae creatures. But there are others, many others, creatures that have been driving, mighty enough to drive the bears from their dens, so I have heard.
Anyone seen any bears recently?
Do we know anyone who was recently mauled by any bears?
Me personally, I have not ventured into the wilderness outside of Codsbreath to be mauled by any bears in the last decade or so, but perhaps you can find someone.
But you did actively pursue that at one point in time.
Look, you wander through the forest, you do a bit of this, you do a bit of that.
It's very true. You do a little bit of this, little bit of that. Many people, maybe they encounter bear and maybe it not go as well as you expect when you encounter bear.
Well,
But
it's just as you do.
Who
As
is
you
it
do.
to say?
You seem to know a lot about this, Nokka.
no, nothing of recent import or importance at all. Actually, relatively speaking.
You hear Geratos take an unnaturally terse tone as he goes, I apologize, but I must ask further about Greymane. This tournament, it seems, only 20 years ago it was started. So this is not a long-standing tradition in this place. For my own people, that would be about a mere blink of the eye in the grand scheme of things. I have to ask, did his wealth follow after the success of the tournament, or was his wealth present before the tournament began?
To my knowledge, because I have lived here for a long time, but not since the founding of Codsbreath. To my knowledge, Mr. Greymane was the cutthroat businessman, the first and most cutthroat businessman in the town. He was able to corner the fishing market in the town and establish a cannery very early. I believe that is all there is to him. But I have not interacted with him outside of winning the competition. I am not one for the white-collar businessman. It's something about the different lifestyles. There is a disconnect. I don't ever think Diabolus and I could be good friends. But that does not mean that I think he is inherently diabolical.
Would you say that the conditions of the town have improved since his wealth was made, or do you believe that it was made despite the town?
I think that he made his money before the competitions, but the competitions brought much more. And when the competition started, he became less trepidatious about investing in the town itself. It has grown much since then, and the things that are here have grown finer because of it.
That I cannot disparage his choices.
It has brought money for those who desire money.
But as I hope you do not take offense to this assumption, but as a genasi of the water, I assume you have somewhat of a deeper connection to the oceans than most. Would you say that the oceans themselves have suffered?
Yes, I would say they have.
Then we have found an imbalance.
The people here, they are not rich. The water in front of them is a place for them to make their money. I don't think that they think they are doing anything wrong, but yes, I would say it is an imbalance.
Would the town be worse off were the competition to end? Dragon eels to go away?
I mean, I hate to say it, but you saw the bars and the streets. That happens once a year. People make a month's worth of rent in that time. Yeah, it's great for Codsbreath. The town might not exist if not for it.
I find often in our journey of life, we make decisions that we do not often fully comprehend the actions or the consequences of. In trying to strengthen the fist, we may strike the tree, and though we mean no ill toward it, the tree may still suffer. And so it is only our duty to take responsibility for that damage, to see that the tree does not die because of our choice. But I fear that choice may not have been made by this town with the right amount of thought. My accent's falling apart.
I do not believe that Diabolus feels for the tree.
And yet the tree remains.
For as long as it can.
Thank you for your wisdom, dear Fluso. I have much to think about.
Do come back. Share coffee with an old man. Okay, you have spent long enough in the company of a smelly water, Genasi. Go, take this information and do some good with it.
Thank you, dear Fluso.
Thank you. For the gold.
Thank you, Fluso. Perhaps I say Grandpa Fluso? No? Is that too much? Too soon?
I am
Pop Fluso?
definitely not your grandfather. But if you want to call me Papa, call me Papa.
Papa Fluso.
Papa Fluso.
Papa Fluso, it was lovely to see ya. Give him a hug.
He hugs you from his chair.
Your shirt's a little damp now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Already
It is.
was.
His shirt is always damp.
Zelar is
He wears-
sweaty as hell.
he's
He's wearing nothing but
exclusively
leather head to
rockstar
toe.
Oh.
It was great to meet another avid arena, Papa Fluso. It was great to meet you. You'll have to tell me where you got that magic box eventually. That nice, mundane magic box.
Oh, it's the trinkets almost mundane. It's difficult, but I brought it from home. My family had more money there.
Understood. Well, it was great to meet you. And
You as
thank you for the book.
And you guys leave Fluso's house?
Yes.
Okay. And then what? You step out onto the streets. The crowd from yesterday, the hustle bustle, has dissipated almost completely. The streets are very nearly empty, save for the fishermen coming and going from the harbor. Where do you guys go?
My friends, I fear that we have a fork in the road has appeared before us, and there are many pathways that we may face. We must, I think, decide together which route to take first. Our first choice, I believe, is to speak to Diabolus about the things he's not telling us. It's obvious that there's many things that we are quite ignorant about, and the other is this quite alarming matter with this shipwreck that appeared yesterday. I believe that needs to be dealt with as well, and I believe these two things are not unrelated.
I think you're right. I think we talk to Greymane first, see if we can learn any more before we go to the shipwreck.
So, to play devil's advocate, the longer we wait with the shipwreck and the harpies, what are the odds that more people will die? I'm perfectly content with going to talk to Greymane, but I thought I'd throw a little bit of chaos into the mix.
Nokka agrees with Luciva. Perhaps it is best to handle more immediate threat, perhaps
Greymane.
prevent threat from coming way of this town.
Greymane
Personally,
will still be back, still be here.
and
Speak to
Greymane is
Greymane's
old
mind.
and greedy man. I do not think he is knowledgeable of much. Does not strike me of type.
Having spent much time in his company, I will say I have found him to be quite silly at times. So I do must agree with you. But I say so. Then I suppose in the course of action is to revisit your cousin, dear Nokka.
Yes, we must commandeer vessel.
So then we must go and see. Sorry, wrong.
Who are you
note,
going to
wrong-
see? Who is
wrong
it?
Note, wrong
Who
note.
is it, Gary? Tell me.
Kamaka.
Kamaka.
We're going to see Kamaka.
Gold
I almost called her
star.
Kanaka, and I'm so glad I waited for Gary to say.
I had to I was viciously scrolling through Microsoft Word, where is it? Where is it?
Awesome. So you guys head to Kamaka's house/shop. You walk in and she goes, Nokka and friends.
Kamaka, we need boat again.
Okay, I need money again.
Understandable. That's how the exchange normally happens.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How about
so-
you'll give Kamaka how about 5 gold?
How about 2 gold and your boat gets to be known as the boat that saved the town from the harpies?
So you guys get the boat from Kamaka. She charges you 4 gold for the 10 persuasion check.
She does
Save
understand
the
that we're
gold
going to
piece.
be taking this boat, right? We're not coming
Oh,
back
yeah.
tomorrow with it or anything.
Yeah, I mean it's the island is an hour offshore.
Okay.
So to her knowledge right now you're just renting it.
Sweet.
Is that the intention?
I think
I guess it doesn't matter what the intention is. I'm
Yeah, I
just
think
letting
that
you know that's what
we
she
think
thinks right
that we're renting it as well.
Yeah,
But we know
yeah.
that things can happen, and we might not
Sure.
be coming back with this boat.
Sure.
Here's a
She
better
doesn't
question.
acknowledge that.
Purposes?
She takes the 4 gold. She's happy.
Yeah.
Did the
Yes.
advertising yesterday on our boat work?
Yes, it did. Kamaka had many patrons with fishing gear needed fixing. Kamaka fix.
Good.
Of course. The
There we
the
go.
star sponsor of the champions of this year's fishing tournament would obviously need. Oh, well, my friends, we are in a hurry, so I do suppose we should
Let's
hop on
run
the vessel.
before she realizes yet.
Kamaka, come we grab boats.
You two grab the vessel, take it around from the back of the shed, bring it out front, put it on a little trolley, and you guys wheel it down to the docks. Diabolus is actually down there waiting for you guys to send you off.
We're looking for you.
As you wheel the boat past him, he goes, yes, you are heroes, I suppose, of the town today. I just want you to know that what you're doing is quite heroic, and we wish you the best of luck, and I am prepared to offer you money when you return should you be successful.
How much we talking?
What are we talking here?
I was thinking 50 gold apiece. It's
Bump it.
twice as much as you made yesterday for winning. So
Bump it up by 20 gold total every head we bring back of a harpy. So 5 gold breakdown between each of us for each head.
make a persuasion check.
Can I help?
There you go.
Yeah, you can make it with advantage.
Because I like money. That's performance, but it's the same roll. Same modifier. That's fucking awful. 10.
You have advantage.
With advantage.
Oh.
With
Yeah.
Oh,
advantage.
He goes.
You have,
He goes.
how about 20 gold a head for every head after the first one?
You wanna know what that sounds like? That sounds like a deal right there.
I like it. It's a good idea. Kill lots of them. If there's
that's
more,
the
kill
plan,
more. I'll
darling.
pay you
That's
more.
the plan.
Yes. Anyway, I see you have a vessel and probably everything you need, right?
Yes. Kamaka lend us her boat. Fantastic business.
Unless you have anything else that could help muffle hearing.
Shrewd businesswoman, that Kamaka. Things to muffle hearing.
Oh my god, the headphones.
Your brother's headphones.
Tenna!
Tenna's headphones.
Tenna's headphones. And Nokka, like,
why he wasn't
on the
taken.
dock, just
Ask him where
sprints
he
down
got
the
them.
dog back at his
Why
house.
wasn't taken like your grandma? He had
Nokka.
headphones on.
Nokka, you go tearing down Main Street. You bust into your house, run upstairs. Tenna is sitting by his window, like just kind of looking out over the streets. He's got the headphones on and he's just bobbing his head. Doesn't even notice you come in. You walk up, like you're walking up behind him. He's got him on.
Okay. So, I'm just going to set my hand on his shoulder like this, and yeah, exactly. He jumps and spins around. Tenna, I have big favor to ask you, and perhaps I make trade, but needing of the headphones.
Oh,
Gotta
that
happen.
okay. I thought you were going to say, "Come with me to kill Harpy," and I would say, "Okay."
No, I'm feeling that killing Harpy is very dangerous for young Tenna.
Probably very dangerous. Yes. What will you give me for headphone?
Let us see. I do not have many things that perhaps you are of great liking of.
Why do you need
maybe-
headphone?
Headphone to block out Harpy or Siren's song, perhaps not die on adventure and get
Oh!
called into water and eaten.
Okay, take headphone.
Do you want?
Okay.
I give you like 3 gold. You go and spend it.
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Give me the gold. Yeah.
The headphones
Okay,
only
so-
cost. The headphones only cost half a gold.
I know. I'm giving him 3 anyways.
You give him 3 gold. He gives you the headphones. He immediately gets up and you both leave the house together. He heads into town and you head back down towards the. He's gonna spend that 3 gold immediately.
Nice.
He's obviously going to open a high yield savings account. Really invest that gold in something.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Gonna
Codsbreath
invest it.
banking system.
Did you ask
Yeah.
him where he got them from? Or we could get more.
Ethan.
Headphones slapped on to Nokka's only thinking about the one pair of headphones, completely disregarding where they might have come from, even though he was told about it. Headphones slapped on, we hear a nice pounding beat going on as he's slowly sprinting back with the headphones.
It's like it's always like classical symphonic, but this one is very like there's timpanis and like side bass drums. There's someone shooting cannons in the concert hall. Like
It's the Sigma music that.
It's whatever the medieval version of funk is.
Medieval fish.
Oh my god.
Nokka,
We're
as you
gonna-
sprint back down to the docks, Diabolus has taken several candles in the time that you've been gone and melted down wax earplugs for everyone.
Nice. Luciva will just like look down to Zellar and be like, "Are we gonna tell Nokka that he just took his brother's one like protection against anything that is influencing people via song? We're gonna let that ride."
Ethan, the headphones grant you immunity to the siren song. Everybody else will just be receiving advantage on the saving throw.
Nice.
If I already have advantage, what does that do for me?
Advantage does not stack, sadly.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's go give somebody the earplugs that you care about. Says Luciva.
On my sheet as immunity to charmed.
Immunity to it's specifically for auditory.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
you could say immune to auditory effects.
Cool. I'll put that in
Cool.
my
So you're-
notes.
Yeah.
You're now immune to ASMR.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God.
Whoa, I don't hear anything.
Well, that does nothing for me.
There's nothing for me.
All right. Liam, if we could switch our tracks here.
He's switching the track.
I'm just imagining a giant Goliath just sitting on our boat, just like going like.
The boat is rocking slightly every time he bobs.
And let's well, we'll get Tailspire pulled up in a minute.
I'm very scared.
Oh.
Or we will get Tailspire.
Oh no,
wait.
no,
No,
oh.
we're back. We're back.
He's
We're
here.
back. We're back.
Oh,
Hello.
okay, we're good. We're
Can
good.
you
We're
hear
good.
me?
We're good.
We're
Can you
so
hear me?
back. We're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I don't think I ever cut out there. I think maybe I was just sitting really still.
Man gave us the stare.
Man,
Just the
most
small.
I'm
Definitely
just
cut out.
opening Tailspire for me.
I'm also
So-
very paranoid, so you know.
Yeah,
Me
that's fair.
too. Me too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Every time you're like, don't move, I'm like, oh no, he's dead. He's dead.
I'm just gonna do this for a while
Yeah.
Nice.
while I get
Yeah.
Tailspire pulled up.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Tailspire is taking a while to load. It's
We
making me very concerned that you're about to lose me, but just be prepared for that.
Okay.
We just see
you
a flash
told
of
me
light.
constant reassurance that you are here. So just
I am here.
You can't.
I'll
be
just
quiet
start
until-
narrating. I'll just start narrating. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
As Kamaka's vessel, slathered in white paint, slips into the choppy waters, as you creep beyond the edges of the swamp that enshrouds Codsbreath, as you venture beyond the bounds that you have ventured thus far, onto the seas, only the misty horizon to greet you, and nothing in your future but a siren song to look forward to. We will end the session there for tonight. Technical difficulties have made this one choppy for sure. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate Steve and everybody who's been in the chat. And hopefully I'm going to get this sorted. This is very unusual. But by next week we should be back on as normal. I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and we will see you all next week.